Well, welcome to all of you watching this on replay. I'm Denise Mend. I'm here in Naramata, BC, Canada. Yes, Growth U has a couple people in Canada. And I'm speaking today to one of our beautiful advisors. Laura Hyman is in Asheville, right? North Carolina. Got that right. And Laura and I have known each other. We actually started Growth U right around the same time as participants and started to become advisors around the same time as well. So our journeys through using Growth U programs to support our own personal growth and then supporting others has been very synchronous. And so today, as I said, we had a beautiful video with Kim Nolan last week. We're going to be posting these regularly. We want everybody to meet the advisors because not a lot of people who are on our social media know that we have programs that people can take that are 30, 45, 60 days. And that we have a growth mastery community where people come every week to hear a theme call from either Rod Hairston, our founder, or one of many master trainer and advisors that we have that will talk about our models or different topics to support people in the areas of growth they're working on every 7 weeks. So between our programs and our mastery community, we have many people and have had thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people since before we got here go through all of our programs and really grow to become the people that they want to be. So as we're talking to our advisors, I want, I mean, number one, Laura is, one of the kindest, most loving people you'll ever meet. And she is the mom of three, grandmother of
Five.
five, right? I got to get that right because she was just with her grandson this weekend. And Laura really, I'll let her tell her story. Growth U has been really pivotal in who she is now. And so Laura, welcome. Thank you for doing this. One of the questions I've asked our advisors, and I'm going to ask everyone, is what initially attracted you to Growth U and just starting to change who you were, which is kind of a scary thing sometimes.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I can't believe that it's 10 years ago
Right? I
that
know.
I found Growth U. Well, I found the first program that I took, and I was on a journey to get healthy. My husband and I both, our kids had grown up, moved out. We found ourselves in a situation of being together all the time. He retired for health reasons, and we weren't feeling good. So it wasn't a good first initiation into retirement for us. We both just felt sick. So we decided to start taking care of our health um, through a nutrition company, which gave us, the way to eat and all that. Yet I was still thinking the same way I was thinking, right? I didn't believe it would work. I didn't have belief. I had to borrow belief from my husband because he really thought it was going to work. So I just kind of believed along with him. And then the program came along and started asking questions of me, of myself, for me to ask myself, why do I want to do the things I want to do? What is my why? These are questions I never asked myself before. Didn't even know on the radar that you could do this. Um, Fast forward, taking the program and then releasing a lot of weight. My husband and I both released over 100 pounds. I started realizing that I didn't see myself the same, and it was confusing. I wasn't sure how to accept the new transformation because inside my head, I was still the same person, still fighting the same battles in my head about with food and all that. So taking a program every day for 60 days is the first one I took. Um, no weekends off. I mean, every single day, it finally started registering in my head that I could change things. I could change the way I looked at things. I could change the way I thought. I could change the way I show up for myself. Um, I knew that the weight was falling off, the weight was coming off, and I felt like it wasn't going to stay because of all the old programming I had in my head. I just, so, I had been doing diets for over 30 years. It took me a long time to get all that weight. And in less than a year, I had it all off. So I needed something to switch in my mindset so that when I walked by a mirror and I saw myself, I didn't see that 260-pound woman anymore. I was able to see who I am without all the little things I had attached to it. Um, these programs have opened my eyes, my husband's eyes. We're able to show up for ourselves. And I realized that I had been showing up for everybody else in my life except myself. And that's why I wasn't healthy. And that's why I wasn't feeling good. And that's why all these things that I thought I was doing to get love for myself wasn't working. So being able to take something every single day and have it be repetitive and have it the videos and then finding out that there were more programs after this one program because I took it over and over again. I wanted more. That's when I found Growth U. And when I found the programs outside of just this one I had been taking over and over again, I started realizing there's a huge world out there that I'd been missing because I had my head in the sand. Because I thought if I just put my head in the sand, nobody would see me and I could live out the rest of my life in peace. Well, it's not very peaceful when your head's in the sand because you're always wondering, somebody seeing me? Am I doing it right? All the questions. So finding out that I could become whoever I wanted to and that I could reprogram everything that had been put into my program system over my whole life, um, it was pretty magical, especially when you're looking at a woman I was 51 when I started taking these programs. Um, I pretty much thought it was just nothing was going to work at that point. I'm 50, right? So I think being able to dive in and find out what my why was and
Mhm.
why my purpose was. And then I started being able to help others see that they've got a choice
Yeah.
in life, in everything.
You talked about purpose at the very beginning, when you were first starting to share about, how you found Growth U and you were doing this big shift. And Laura's being very modest. She released over 100 pounds, and has kept it off. Like, it really shifted her health in all sorts of ways. And that purpose, which we know now, like psychologically, it's our emotional fuel. So when we seek to change something to make ourselves feel better or to want something different in our lives, when we have a purpose attached to that vision or dream of change, that purpose is so important to remind ourselves when we hit challenges and when we hit the resistance of our unconscious brain saying, "What are you doing?" That purpose helps us get through that resistance. So, what was your big purpose at the very beginning, Laura? Do you remember? Because remember, it asked us our purpose,
Funny,
what we were grateful for.
I
Yeah.
had just lost both my parents
Hmm.
and I was a grandma and I couldn't stay awake when I watched them. I had no energy. And when my mother passed and then my dad, I realized I wanted to be here for my grandkids. I wanted to see all the things that they're going to do in life, not just my kids, but my grandkids now. So I think in the very beginning, my grandkids was my purpose. It was my everything. I wanted to see what they're going to do. I wanted to be a part of it. I didn't want to be the grandma that sat on the outside and just watched. I wanted to participate. I wanted to climb a hill with them and zip line through something with them and just find their adventure. It felt like I was finding mine with them because I had never played in that area of what do I want?
Love
So
that. That's such an important distinction, right? Like so often people like you who took care of everybody else in their life, we never think about what is it that we actually want. Especially when we hit midlife or, into times when we have grandchildren. Often it's like, well, most of my life is done. Well, no, it's not.
just beginning.
Right? So, fast forward, you've gone through all the programs. I know you've taken as many as I have, probably more. You became an advisor, a master trainer. What do you love now about supporting people in growth mastery, like people who are showing up every week? And of course, people who are taking these 30, 45, 60-day programs. What do you love about supporting people as they seek something new in their lives to feel better?
I truly love it, fills my heart when I see someone have an aha moment of like, I have a choice, and then follow through with the choice and being able to give them experiences I've had with the programs and with even just life in general. Um, it's really fun to watch someone get it that that we all have a choice in this world and we're all making up our own stories as we go. And I feel like the everybody thinks that there's a right and a wrong way. And what I found with Growth U is that there's your way, right? You learn the way you learn. I learn the way I learn, and that's okay. I have really, really loved that this is a completely no judgment zone. There's no judgment here. There's love and understanding. You know, it's accepting and allowing who we're going to be and realizing that we're all different. We're all perfectly imperfect.
Mhm.
And I don't want to be exactly like Denise because you're the most beautiful, loving person I know. And I know that when the two of us get together, then we get to share both of our joy and our love and our purposes with each other. And it just makes the world brighter, right? We're learning from each other continuously.
Yeah.
When you take a program and get it with an advisor, it's a new way to understand the program because now you get to talk to everyone who's in the program, not just the advisors. I think that as an advisor, I think I learn more as an advisor from everyone who joins us.
Yeah. Yeah, you mentioned, we often run programs advisor led so that, people are taking it all together. People can certainly take a program on their own. Most programs we have in our catalog are designed to be able to do it individually, and you of course have an advisor that you can message if you need to. And we've talked about this before, you and I, that we feel like our community is why people actually stay around. So, what is your favorite thing about the growth mastery community and people who are here working, for several years?
My favorite part of that is family.
Mm,
It's feeling I truly have a chosen family here in this community. There isn't one person here that has ever made me feel less than, right? I feel like I am the most important person when I show up to a call, whether I want to be here or not. There are some days where you just don't want to show up even for yourself. And I find the accountability here. has been the biggest gift for me. And that's something I tried to run away from most of my life was accountability. Um, I'm truly finding that it's the most important part in getting through the things I want to get through in life. There everybody needs a little bit of accountability, whether it's with yourself or a friend or a family member or, a stranger even.
Yeah,
The guy walking down the street every day that you walk at the same time. You're waving to each other, it's accountability. So that's about probably the most beautiful part of it.
love it. Yeah, it's a family of choice, isn't it? All supporting one another just become we're all seeking to be the best versions of ourselves, and really be intentional about who we are next, right? Each day. Yeah. So if somebody was, curious and thinking, what should I join in? What should I do? What would you tell them, Laura?
Ah, jump in, jump in. Don't try to figure it out, right? Just jump in and see where you land.
Mm,
There's loving arms here, and we got you. And that's the biggest thing I've gotten is that I have finally felt like somebody has me. Someone has my back, no matter who it is. Um, in this community, we've got you. There's a beautiful part of everyone's life that we want to depend on ourselves. It's okay to depend on others to help us through the hardest parts of our life, right? And I think jumping in and taking a program here, even if you do it without an advisor, I mean, I did that for 2 years. I didn't take a program with an advisor for 2 years. Um,
What was that one called, Laura?
Healthy mind and body.
Yes. And we have one. We have Healthy Mind and Body 2.0 on our
But
calendar.
I
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
and it changed everything for me because it brought all the questions to the forefront. What do I want? Who do I want to become? Instead of looking at what I've done in my life, I get to look now at what do I want to become? Who do I want to be? These are questions no one ever asked me before. Um, and then finding mood boosters we've got coming up. I
Mhm.
mean, what a great way to jump in and just find where you're at, right? With music and meditation and feeling good. And I mean, everybody wants to feel good right now, you know? And there's no magic pills, but we've got a lot of magical programs
Yeah.
that'll help you guide the way. Just like when you read a book, you're taken through a story. Why not write your biggest story, which is yourself, your life, what you
Mhm.
want? Let's write it. And we're here to
Oh, I love that. Why not write your own story? Be your own author. Well, Laura, thank you so much for taking the time to chat today. And yeah, if you're watching this video and you're curious, please, there'll be information in the comments. You can reach out. There will be links to have a look at the programs you might be curious about. And please let us know. We love to support and we love to help you write your own story. So, Laura, thank you. We will see you again. Bye for now.
thank you. Bye.